Okay, I need you to buckle up. I need you to sit down. I need you to hydrate. Go get yourself a snack because this is going to be a very long series and I'm scared. We are going to talk Paris and Lindsay feud. This is a thing. This is a very intricate. This is a very intricate web. There are so many things going on that if I say something and you're like, no, I remember it this way, I remember it that way, please share in the comments. I absolutely love when my comments look like a 2000s message board. It's the best, okay? So, because there's a lot going on. So we're going to start at 2006. Hi, tengo miedo. So 2005, 2006 was a very weird time in American pop culture. We went from 80s, like overconsumption, more, gold, like extra, read all about it, to 90s grunge, which was more like a statement against conformity, a statement against societal norms. You know what I mean? It was a cynical time. It was like anti-materialism. You know what I mean? So, hello, Nirvana. You know what I'm saying, right? Plaid, If you haven't seen the show, My So-Called Life, that is a good fucking show. Anyway, okay, so we went from overconsumption to grunge to back in the 2000s to this overconsumption phase. And we became kind of obsessed. Like, look at movies back then. We became obsessed with, like, the popular, skinny, mean, white, blonde, rich girl. We became obsessed with that idea. The popular girl. Like, what is the popular girl, right? And she's mean, but she gets away with everything. She's hot. And there was nobody more perfect for that role. And with the Schmex tape and all of that, it perfectly aligned to be Paris Hilton, okay? She's an heiress, Paris Hilton Hotels, right? Okay. And she was basically born in a nightclub. She's been clubbing since she was like, 14, right? Then we have Lindsay Lohan, right? Really talented actress. By 2006, she was already very much seen as a liability on set. Do yourself a favor and Google Lindsay Lohan, Georgia Rule, studio exec leaked letter and read that. That is what Lindsay Lohan was like. She already had very unsuccessful stints in rehab and all that. So we're talking two tabloid queens that very much run within the same circles, okay? Also, at this point, I am 16 years old and I am obsessed with pop culture and I'm obsessed with everything that I cannot be, which is Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan and all the other starlets, okay? So glued to the tabloids. This is how I remember it, okay? This was a pretty shitty part one, right? We will get into actual events in the next. Hold on. I just need to warm you up. We're warmed up, okay? Okay, see you soon. This is Paris versus Lindsay, part one. Let's start with Stavros, right? He's Greek, so it's like Stavros Miarchos. It's Stavros. He is a billionaire heir, with a B, billionaire heir, Greek. We first met Stavros when he was with Mary-Kate Olsen, but he allegedly left Mary-Kate to be with Paris Hilton. Mary-Kate allegedly is so devastated that she drops out of NYU. Time heals all wounds, right? Okay. Paris and Stavros were very on and off, right? And Lindsay and Paris were having trouble because Lindsay was very close to, or beginning to be close to, Paris's ex-BFF at the time, Nicole Richie, because Paris Hilton was hosting SNL and Nicole Richie was so jealous, allegedly, that she had a viewing party, like a watch party of Paris Hilton hosting SNL, but when it was time to watch Paris, in front of all of Nicole's guests, she plays One Night in Paris, the tape. And Paris heard and she was like, absolutely, I mean, I would fight you. I would put my hands on you. That is so cruel. Allegedly happened, though. Allegedly. I think it fucking happened. So Lindsay and Paris, okay, not as close as they used to be, and they're having some issues. Then one night, while they are off, not on, Lindsay is seen out with Stavros, and then he is seen leaving her apartment early the next morning. A few nights later, Paris Hilton goes to Janet Jackson's birthday party with her sister, her publicist Elliot, who I have to show you a picture of, and I will, and Brandon Davis. Do you remember Brandon? Anything ringing a bell for you? oil air. His grandfather at one point owned Fox, like 20th Century Fox, not Fox News, like 20th Century Fox. He always looked like this, a little sweaty. His nickname was Greasy Bear in the media. He also dated Misha Barton at one point. Look at that. Anyway, you might know him because, okay, PSA, there's gonna be some language. Okay.
Lindsay Lohan has got the stinkiest, fucking sweaty, orange vagina anyone has ever seen. I haven't seen it.
Paris, do you agree with him?
But it shits out freckles, it's orange, and it fucking smells like diarrhea.
Paris, do you agree with him?
Alright, Lohan's movie bombed because she's a fire crotch.
So those two words, fuego crotch, were everywhere. Everywhere. And honestly, that was some pretty mean girl shit. It was some pretty mean girl shit. That was a lot. This is part 3, okay? So, part 3 of Lindsay and Paris. Okay. So, Brandon is effectively dragged internationally by the internet, okay? I mean, you heard it. It's horrid. It's horrid. And I mean, there are video of him, of him waiting outside clubs, not being able to get in. And people screaming at him, "How dare you talk about Lindsay? She makes her own money. Why don't you go ask daddy for more money?" Like, he did not have it easy, and he deserved it. He deserved it. So obviously the man's like social life takes a hit, and apparently, I didn't burp, you burped. Allegedly, his family is like, "We're going to cut you off. Like, you're such a clown." So he issues an apology and then walks around with this shirt. ¿Qué clase de come mierda? I can't even. And then he checks into rehab. He later records a song called Fire Crotch that was not released, but Paris Hilton would play it for her guests at parties. And we've never heard it, but we do know that Scott Storch, remember Scott Storch, produced it. So Lindsay obviously is very embarrassed, and she's trying to avoid paparazzi at all costs, which she does not do well. She's just like stays quiet while they're asking her questions. We've all seen the paparazzi videos of when they're like, "What, Lindsay, any comment on this?" or whatever's happening, okay? But then she tells a magazine, when asked about the incident, Lindsay says about Paris, obviously she's very comfortable making videos. Low blow. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama said, "When they go low, we go high." That was before Lindsay's fight with Paris. But in this scenario, Lindsay said, "I'm about to go lower." So after this, they run into each other at various parties, right? Like I said, they're in the same circles. Hollywood is this big. The tip of this pen, right? In May 2006, they see each other at Hyde, the nightclub Hyde, which is like all over the tabloids too. I think even in like shows like The Hills, award-winning docudramas like The Hills. TMZ was all up on their asses because Fire Crotch was like their first like huge viral video. So everything that they were doing, TMZ was on their ass, right? This night at Hyde, apparently they were faced like nose to nose screaming at each other, and people overheard that it was about Stavros. And then for Lindsay's birthday party, she invited Ivanka Trump instead of Paris Hilton as like a blonde replacement. Okay, this is part 4. How are we doing? Checking in. Vital's good. All right, let's dive back in. So during this time, Lindsay Lohan also calls Paris Hilton and leaves her a apparent screaming, scathing voicemail. And Paris listens to it in front of all of her friends, and reportedly they are cackling, laughing, and calls Lindsay a "see you next Tuesday." So obviously Paris is still upset about Lindsay doing coitus with Stavros. Okay, as anyone would be. Also during this time, Paris Hilton allegedly hacks into Lindsay's phone and shows everybody the things on Lindsay's phone, which I can only imaginables. Okay, so this is Lindsay Lohan's ex-boyfriend, Harry. Harry's dad, Peter owned the Hard Rock Cafe, co-owned like the Hard Rock Cafe, like all of it, right? And Harry was also co-owner of the Viper Room at one time, and he was an owner of Pink Taco. He sadly passed away from heart complications. He had like an enlarged heart. But anyway, so this is Lindsay Lohan's ex-boyfriend Harry, right? So while Lindsay and Paris are fighting, guess what happens? Paris? I mean, don't start what you can't finish, Lindsay. You know what I mean? So when Lindsay receives word that Paris is getting closer, getting to know Harry, we get this infamous video.
You look beautiful, Lindsay. Wait, Paris and Lindsay? Lindsay, we love you, Lindsay. Yeah. That's enough, man.
Paris. I'll see you next Tuesday. Okay. Let's continue with the video.
Paris, I'm sorry.
Did you hear the paparazzi gasp?
I'm sorry, Lindsay, what did you say? The what? Lindsay, Paris is the what? She's the cut?
Nope. Oh, I think they said the word. Damn it. Whatever.
What did you say a second ago about Paris? Why is Paris a cunt? Why is Paris a cunt? We got you saying a second ago.
Paris is my friend.
Your friend. Lindsay loves Paris.
I love her.
No. Are you being sarcastic?
Hours later, she's seen holding these magazines. Hours posing, obviously. And my friends are like, is she playing mind games or is she scared? I think she was a spooky scared. Part 5, Lindsay and Paris. I don't know how I'm going to get through all of these. There's going to be like 57 parts. Okay, so it is then we see that Paris Hilton has a new BFF. Yes. They are seen, Britney and Paris are seen going out many, many times. And if you recall and were able to retain memory at this point in your life, this is also when they weren't wearing bandis. This was that time. Okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days, right? Okay. Paris is none too pleased, I think, with the media attention. I mean, hello, Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. What do you think the tabloids did? They ate that shit up. They ate that shit up. And I think they were introduced via Paris's manager, or they both knew Maloof, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. George Maloof owned the freaking Las Vegas, what the fuck is the Palms? George Maloof owned the Palms. His daughter Adrienne was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, okay, with the hair tinsel. So, I think George introduced Paris and Britney. Anyway, this is why I love pop culture. I love it. Anyway, Lindsay's pissed, okay? And then she gives us another iconic video.
Okay. All right.
This is a video that Paris Hilton, and I'm saying this on tape. She hit me last night for no reason, apparently, at my friend's house, and I didn't know she'd be there, and she hit me, and she
Are you
hit
upset
me with
about
a drink
that? How
and
do you
poured it
feel
all over
about
me.
that?
And it hurts, and it's not okay.
It's not cool.
And I'm sorry for everyone that thinks I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm just trying to
I'm
act.
sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to Off the property, guys. Off the property. Thank you.
The God bless sends me into the stratosphere. Into outer space, into interstellar. God bless. I'm just trying to act. Well, you're certainly acting. This video goes viral in such a violent way, okay? Paris Hilton hit Lindsay Lohan everywhere, okay? So, soon after, Paris Hilton and Britney Spears are seen arriving to Brandon Davis's house in Beverly Hills. I know where this man lives. That man could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know who he is. Just kidding. I'd say, Brandon, Grizzly Bear. Okay. And then soon after, Lindsay Lohan shows up. So the paparazzi are like, "Ay, ¿qué está pasando aquí?" So then the three of them leave together. And what do you think we get? Girl, what pictures do you think we got? Okay, I had a little Caesar salad. Refuel. I'm back in it. Part six. Part six. So the three ladies are seen leaving Brandon Davis's house. Greasy bear in the flesh. Okay. Apparently this was set up by Paris Hilton's publicist. Yeah, he was a publicist. Paris's publicist was Elliot Mintz, right? An OG Perez Hilton aficionados. Remember this man. This is what Elliot looked like. Okay, ready? Hand to God. Hand to God, this is him. Hand to God, I swear upon everything that I love that this is him. Real talk, not a costume. This is how... Well, anyway, he set up this whole meeting. He was like, ladies, it's time to play nice. Okay, so they're seen leaving Brandon's house.
So, Paris, did you hit Lindsay?
Yeah, take it. Yeah, take it.
Ask her. She's right
Take
there.
it. Take it.
Lindsay, tell them the truth.
Nisha, what's going on, Nisha?
Paris never told me she's my friend. Everyone lies about
Lindsay.
everything. She's a nice person. Please leave us alone.
Are you friends?
So that video statement earlier today was wrong?
Waiting in the car. She never did that. She's a good girl. She's a nice person. I've known her since I was 15. Please stop trying
Lindsay, right here.
to make us hate each other.
Oh, this is classic.
And that is how we got the photos that are everywhere and iconic to this day. History in the making. Can you imagine being that paparazzo? Can you imagine being like, Paris, it's a true you hit Lindsay? And she's like, I don't know, ask her. I would have been like, what? I die. But did you hear the paparazzi? He said, so that statement earlier today was untrue. It was the same day. She said that Paris hit her. And the same day, Elliot was like, no, all of you little ladies gotta go to Brandon's house and have a little talking to. Same day. When she says, please stop trying to make us hate each other. Who's they? What? I've known her since I was 15. Come on. We didn't say you did it. What? You said. But if you look in those photos, Elliot is escorting Lindsay. He's like, get in the car. Don't say nothing. Sit in the car. Tell me you know that song. Okay, but listen to this. Lindsay Lohan and Shayna Mogler, Travis Barker's ex-wife, were like MySpace messaging buds trying to hang out. Can you please read this? Saw pics of you with Brit and Paris and P. What the hell is Brit doing anyway? Lindsay, it was more of a photo op that night. KF is crazy SOB from the stories she told. He even called me that night asking where she was. Okay, part 7, Paris versus Lindsay. After that photo op, they were friends forever. Just kidding. These two ladies continued to bicker all over Los Angeles. There was a pre-Grammy party hosted by Timbaland. Both of them had musical ambition, and both of them wanted to work with Timbaland. And apparently they were like fighting for his attention, and they got into a blow-up fight. And then there's also that time that you can read that, or I can zoom in for you. I put little stars on the bad words for community guidelines. But yeah, I think you can figure it out if you use your noggin. Just a little extra goss for you. I love my Brit. I love her more than life. Okay, but the day after the photo op with Lindsay, Paris, and Britney, Paris and Brit go to the Roosevelt Hotel with Brandon. Okay, and it is reported that Brandon and Britney were in the bathroom together for a long time. And you know what? You two have gone to the bathroom with a person you shouldn't have. And you cringe when you think about, so whatever. Okay, I went back into my phone and I found more leaked MySpace messages between Shayna Mogler and Lindsay Lohan. Okay, question, because she thought that Paris Hilton and Kim were doing sexers with Travis. Okay, question, please tell me you don't hang out with Paris. We're going to Winston's tonight. Try to come hang. Are you hooking up with Travis? To Lindsay. What's wrong, Lila? Why are you writing me asking how Travis is when you're hanging out with him? Listen, babe, I know you and your whore crew. Men is a game. I have 2 kids, don't have a proper family now. You should stay the fuck away from me. So intense. Okay, look at this. Okay, read Lindsay first. This is Lindsay, and then Paris. I'm going to leave. I'm going to let you read it. Use tampons. Okay, so as you know, Paris Hilton was sentenced to go to jail for 45 days because she was driving with a suspended license. She only stayed for 3 days because she was suffering from anxiety and depression, which I understand, especially with her trauma, right? Lindsay's no angel either. She ends up in rehab again after she gets into another accident, which is very weird. Very weird. Apparently she held some dudes hostage, and police found a powdered covered Clinique sun care card. Do you remember when they found a little baggie in Paris Hilton's bag, and she said the wind must have blown it in there? Or when she was photographed with powder on her nose, and her publicist said it was just dessert left over on her face. Also, do me the favor and look up the words Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, and syringes. They've been weird for a long time. Long time. Part 8, Lindsay and Paris. I just want to say, all this fighting, and there's this photo of them. This is a real photo. Any Hoosers. So the drama seems to, fizzle out for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, there's this flyer on Paris Hilton's door. Lost dog. Age 3 and dog years. Wait. You know what? I'm going to let you read it. The bottom part, though, if you have any information, please call 310-555-NO-HOPE or go to myspace.com/dirtyagenda. All the change in my couch will be offered for the information. Oh my God. Okay, before I talk about this, look how beautiful Lindsay looks. Anyway, she stole this coat. She was leaving a club, I think it's One Oak, and she just grabbed a coat and walked out, and it was some Russian model's $11,000 coat, and she wouldn't give it back, and she finally gave it back, and it was full of cigarette burns and smelled like alcohol and cigarettes, awful. And then when she stole $100,000 worth of jewelry from a store on Venice Beach. Hold on. I just want to show you how sick of Lindsay's shit everybody is at this point, okay? Lohan sat in her familiar spot in the defendant's chair next to her longtime attorney. How shady. There was definitely a feeling of deja vu Wednesday as Lindsay Lohan again appeared before a judge and in front of scores of cameras. You are no different than anyone else, so please don't push your luck. If you violate the law, I will remand you and set no bail. I can read sometimes, okay, guys? Help, I'm stuck in this little square. I also love this. Ready? I'm Littles. Lohan pleaded not guilty. Law enforcement sources told the Times the case against Lohan includes store surveillance video showing the actress wearing the necklace. Paparazzi photos taken days later also show the actress wearing the necklace. Lindsay was just she was gaslighting everybody. From day one. She just decides that it's not real, so it's not real. And she can't get in trouble. Remember when her nails spelled that F-U-C-K for DUI, and then she had to go to jail? And she was like, what? And they're like, yeah, bitch, you were driving drunk again. Clink, clink, you're going to jail. Okay, so my other parts on TikTok won't come up, so I'm going to try to do a part 9 and wrap it up, okay? So this is part 9, Lindsay versus Paris, Paris versus Lindsay. So this is why I think Paris and Lindsay will never be more than high by, even though Paris Hilton to this day shades her. So Paris Hilton 2000s Instagram said the chronicles of the 2000s trouble star Lindsay Lohan and her chaotic backtracking situations, and Paris Hilton commented #pathological liar. So I don't think they're going shopping together, getting mani pedis and having sleepovers. You know what I mean? Pathological liar. Oh my God. And you know what? No, I'm not going to say that. What I will say is there is a reason why I think if I were Paris, I would not be able to forgive. Because when you fuck with my family, you're fucking with me and your fate and your destiny and your time out. I'm talking about Paris and Lindsay.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So Paris Hilton's brother, Baron Hilton, reportedly beat up by Lindsay Lohan's friend. Okay, this is what happened. They were in Basel in 2013. Our Basel in a small town called Miami. They were at the same party, and apparently Barron was talking shit about Lindsay Lohan because of her issues with his sister. And then Lindsay Lohan tells one of her friends to beat the shit out of him, and that they did. Lindsay Lohan also told police, well, when you talk shit about me, this is what happens. Okay, Tony Soprano, reel it in, good fella. You know what I mean? So this is Barron after the fight. Let me tell you something. The only person allowed to beat my brother's ass is me. And I can't really even do it. He's 6'5". He's huge. He eats so much. Anyway, this is her brother, right? Horrible, horrifying. After the fight, TMZ saw Lindsay Lohan and Barron confront one another. Or Barron really confronting Lindsay. Look.
Get over here. I'm
harassing you.
A lawyer.
Look at him.
What? Why does she love that word? And while Barron's in the hospital getting treated for his injuries and getting a CT scan, Lindsay tweets pictures of her on the beach in Zen poses. But I wanted to say this. Out of all the drama and all the things that I've read about Lindsay and Paris throughout the years, this is my favorite quote. Okay, so this is from Vanity Fair. Paris has done horrible things to Lindsay, and still Lindsay will call her saying, I want to be friends again, even after Firecrotch. She never had a high school experience, and for her, this is it. And Paris is the leader of this tiny clique of people who hang out together and do Coca-Cola and hate each other. It's just like Mean Girls, except with paparazzi. So what have we learned from this whole feud? What lessons can we take away from Paris and Lindsay? Don't hang out with Brandon Davis. They call him Greasy Bear. Get away from him. I think that's what I took away from it.